G'day guys. Everything's a little bit out of sequence. I had a few issues from the GoPro. Boy uses it spearfishing and stuff like that, and sometimes I lose videos. So just a quick rewind, a bit out of sequence, but basically I started doing the left-hand rear quarter. Filling and sanding that, got so far, popped the door on, and to line it all up, I was having a lot of problems. Took the doors off. While the doors were off, made quite a few repairs, and which I'll show you coming up. And yeah, so the video I made explaining this at the start disappeared, so it is what it is. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Yeah, so this is it. It's come up alright. We've still got a few pinholes. I've ordered new plates for in here. I thought I could fix these. They'd already had a previous repair, and I started on it, but it was just, it's actually the inside, getting the right shape in the inside, because it's like a cone and the latch actually fits over the cone. So yeah, new plates, 30 bucks each. I've ordered two, plus the one on the other door is absolutely trashed, but yeah, had cracks, and like I said, it's been fixed before. Yeah, new plates. Overall they're not too bad. I've just done this side, a few little patches in that, but this whole corner's been replaced. Not too bad at all. I'll show you the other one. This one, the right hand door, you can see it's just gone. Cracks. It's actually cracked. So yeah, new ones for there. I haven't taken this corner apart, but I can bet there's all bog in there, because you should be able to see that seam all the way around. So that's all bog, and you can see it's cracked. Doesn't look, this part doesn't look too bad, but yeah, and I've got a little bit of work to do here and on the corner here, and there's a little bit under there as well. So yeah, that'll be the next one. Again, the skins aren't too bad. They've had a couple of repairs in each corner here, but I don't see any real issues. The same with this one. So yeah, the welder I'm using, people hate me for this, but I've got a little super cheap welder. I've had this for about 8 years, and I bought this as a bit of a stopgap. The only thing that's gone wrong with it is a switch. I just got to plug it and unplug it. But I just bought this as a stopgap. I picked it up for like 140 bucks. It's gasless, and I used to have a CIG, MIG-mate, and that was just giving me all sorts of problems, and I had gas with that. But the gas back then was just a pain around here to try and get, and it was the bottle rental, and it was just super expensive. It just gave me the shits. So I bought the gasless just as a bit of a stopgap, and you know what, I've got used to it, and I've kept going. It's a bit hard. It's got a few little settings here on really thin stuff. It's a little, you got to be really careful, but once you get over 1.5 mil, welds really well. Gasless is messier, but you still get good welds, but you just got to clean it up. I just use a wire wheel, but you just got to be careful on bits on where the metal's pressed and it's stretched around corners. That's where you've got to be really careful. On the flats, it's not too bad if you go slow. You get pinholes, which you've got to go over, and then you've got to go over again, but you get that with gas anyway, so probably not as bad. But as long as the metal's clean. New metal, it welds really good. Older metal, you've got to really get it clean. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably get if I got a decent welder and gas, I'd probably go great. And gas is really easily available. You just buy the bottle now and you just exchange the bottles like your barbecue bottles, which is really good. But I just kept going with this, and I don't know. It's done the job. I've got so far of it. I've only got a little bit more welding to do. One day I'll shout myself a good decent welder, but this is good stuff too. Good stuff. But yeah, even my little super cheap die grinder, I had to tape it up there because the end kept coming off, but that has done a shitload of work, and that's worked really well. I can't believe it's still going. It was just a cheapie. I think it was like $50 or something. Yeah. Hate me if you want, but it's just easier for me. If you got a shop, great. If you got shitloads of money, great. But I was on a budget, and like I said, I just got used to it and just plod along. Even my welding helmet's cheap. It's an Audi one. That worked all right. This one I spent a little bit more money on. It works good. But yeah, does the job. So I just shot a coat of primer on the doors. I had to repair both corners on both doors. They were bogged up. They had rust in them. Amazingly, the rust hadn't come through yet. I mean, they've been like that for over 20 years since I've had the car. It was done before I bought the car. And the repairs, just the rust holes were just bogged over and hadn't come through. So there was a lot more behind that than I originally thought. I also had to repair on the right hand side door along the bottom here. Again, it was just bogged up. The rust hadn't come through, but as I was sanding, I realised there's bog in there, and once I ground it all back, there was holes everywhere, so fixed that. Also did the door latches. But what I had to work on was getting this edge straight. That's because the sill edge is straight, so this was wavy, pretty wavy, and the ends were kicked up on both doors, probably from catching on grass and stuff like that. So this is just a coat of primer. I've still got to block this back and recoat it probably a couple of times to get it nice and flat. Still a few areas I need work on, but I need to get in primer because I started on the quarter, and what I realised was that in the quarter it had a big hit at one stage, and I had to repair that, see the pics. But there was just too much filler in it for my liking, and it was getting out of control, so there was something wrong. I measured up both sides of the B-pillars. They were square. They were square with the top of the roof. So, because I initially thought maybe the impact pushed the B-pillar in a bit, but it wasn't that. I'd say this door also had a little bit of a hit, and along this edge was sticking up a bit. So I could get the bottoms aligned, and I could get the top aligned with the quarter, but this was proud all along this edge. So I actually laid both doors flat on the garage floor and lined up the opposite ends, because I know the right hand door was pretty good. So straight away, this was about 5 mil higher all the way along here, and this was about 5 mil high as well. So with a little bit of persuasion with a a hammer and a block of wood, I just tapped that down till it was even with the other door. All things being equal, it should be a lot better now, and I should be able to get rid of a fair bit of bog off the quarter, which I'll probably start in the next couple of days. But I'll just show you the latch areas anyway. So just using a straight edge, like I said, I've still got a bit of mucking around to do here, but I've just thrown a coat of primer on this, and even though it's only just under 20 degrees, it's doing okay. So still a little bit of work to do, but they are pretty. It is pretty straight compared to what they were. And these are the latch areas I put in. I've still got to do a little bit of smoothing. It's only just one coat of primer. So, and this door is pretty good. This was it had a lot of rust in the corners, again in the corners. But I've still got to do a bit of smoothing and everything, but this will do to line up with the quarters. The rough shape's there. And that's the main thing. This needs a bit of work here, but overall they're pretty good. There is some filler in here, but I'm not good enough to actually I'm too scared to actually muck around with heating and shrinking this area, but it's pretty good. The lines are pretty good, yeah, I'll like I said, still got to do another skim here, but like I just want to get a coat of paint on it so I can see the lines. When you start with filler and it's all mottled because of you've got different colours and everything, you can't see the lines. You start losing track of the lines. So like I said, I'll block those back a couple of times and reprime, block, prime, get them nice and straight. But yeah, just using a straight edge. But these doors have got a really complicated shape. If you look here, you can see how they're flat and then they kick up for the quarters. So if this is not right here, it throws the whole shape of your quarter out. So that's where I'm at the moment. So the doors are done. I'll leave these a couple of days, harden up. I got night shift tonight and over the weekend, so I'll let it's only been a couple of hours since I put that primer on, and it's touch dry now. Couple of days to harden up, and then I'll get stuck back into that left quarter with the door on again, and hopefully everything will line up for me. Fingers crossed. I don't have too many more issues with it. Thanks for watching. Been a couple of weeks doing these doors, so probably I reckon there's got to be 50 hours in it at least, so in both doors. So and they're not finished yet. I'll wrap this up. I'll put some pics of what have I done so far, plenum and sills. So what I'll do is I'll put some pics up of the repairs from the lower rear quarters. I had to do both sides of that, so stand by for those. If not, turn off now if you're bored with rush repair pictures. Sorry I didn't have too many pictures of repairs. I lost those as well. I don't know what's going on. I'm not too great with some of this modern technology, but yeah, and I just got some of it, I just got carried away and forgot to take pictures, so there's a few in there, but anyway, rust repairs is rust repairs. I've got shitloads of pics you've already seen, so yeah, I won't bore you with doing body work, and the guys on the other channels cover that pretty good. XA Coupe guy does extremely well, and flat Fords. But basically it's the same shit. And Jace with his coupe. So yeah, sorry to ramble, but so here we go. So these are the corners underneath the taillight panel. They'd had previous repairs. Complicated area, a lot of mucking around. These are the bottom of the rear quarters. Again, shit repairs, previous repairs. So I used some replacement panels off Howard Astle. They fit pretty good. You just had to reshape the ends here, which was good because then you can adjust it to your own car. But yeah, there's previous repairs, 10 mil of bog on it, really horrible. It was even more horrible on the inside, and had to cut a fair bit out. But they came together pretty well. Just took my time welding it, and yeah, much better job. Like I said, again, previous repairs, pretty crappy, and I just cut it all out and started again, and yeah, it came up pretty good. It's not original, but I wasn't too concerned about that. I just did it the way I thought it should go and smoothed it all out. So thanks.